of them saplings, Coop.
They're apple trees, Will, not glass. They won't break.
Yeah, well, they'd better not. Ma's been up in the clouds ever since she thought of the chance to trade for this shipment. We just bust one of these, and liable to be our heads will be bust next.
You make your ma sound fierce, Chisholm. The only time I saw her, she was warm-hearted enough to be Irish herself.
Damn, a nerve of Chisholm's is the heart and soul of a saint. That's why she scares the devil out of Will here.
All right, you two, poke fun at me. But you spoil Ma's dream, and you're gonna wish for something as easy to fight as an old passel of devils.
Dream?
An orchard, Mr. O'Hurley. Growing right up over our heads. Because all we gotta do is reach up and chomp. Ma's been dreaming about that all the way to California. He's here at Rambo's. He was Pa's favorite. Fresh out of a nursery by way of Cape Horn.
I thought your pa was dead.
That's right. But buried close enough to smell the hard cider brewing, don't you worry.
Oh, I'd admit $9 is a fair sum to be asking for 3 kegs of rum.
Fair? It's a bargain and you know it.
That may be, Mr. Tolliver.
If I had time to row it upriver to Sutter's Fort, I could probably find plenty of customers that'd pay 12 or 15 for it.
Well, I know I just don't happen to have the cash money to close a deal right now. But if you could wait until I persuade a partner...
Well, you better hurry, sir. My ship's waiting for me down at the bay. Ah, Mr. O'Hurley. Are you satisfied with your merchandise?
I surely am, Mr. Tolliver.
Good. Then I have the papers ready here to make your ownership of the man right and proper.
Lester?
You see that? That thing almost killed me. Anybody hurt? Is she okay? Anybody hurt?
Wala nun bukraw ay inte.
Weednock?
Well,
You all right?
all right.
You don't look it. What happened?
I never see such a man. What tribe?
Him? He's no tribe, darling. He's a Negra. Comes from Africa.
Africa?
Yeah, halfway around the world, I reckon.
By Virginia?
No, it's a mite further than that.
I see Indian. I see white man. I see brown white man. Now I see black white man. So many men, so many colors.
Well, you can always tell them apart by what they eat.
That true?
Sure. Every color eats something different, don't they?
What do black white men eat?
Injun, mostly.
Chisholm? Wouldn't hurt your Indian to be lending a hand here.
This is Mrs. Chisholm, Tom. She'll not be working for you.
Oh, sorry, madam. Well, what's the Negra doing just standing around?
You heard the man, Morgan. Pitch in there.
Oh, what do you think?
Real bargain, ain't it, gents?
Not bad rum. Not bad at all.
I told you. He's my partner, Mr. Tolliver.
All right, it's a deal. You watch out for them apple trees when you put those kegs in the wagon. You tie 'em up good, you hear?
Don't worry. We're buying for 9. We're selling for 15. You'll see.
I hope they're sitting tight in there.
Should.
Better.
It's the dumbest looking thing I ever seen. You're wasting your time. I tell you, it ain't gonna work.
That's because you don't know nothing about machinery or irrigation either. And there's 10 buckets on that rope, and I reinforce the uprights here.
I know 2 things for rock solid certain, though. That don't look like no water wheel irrigator I ever laid eyes on. Looks more like a stork in a windstorm.
Now, looks ain't important, little brother, as long as it works. And if a horse can fill a ditch, then we won't have to tow water all the way up from the other well to Ma's new orchard.
That's the other thing I know. It ain't gonna work.
You through?
Got more, but I'll wait till you ain't holding that hammer in your hand.
You just watch. If an it raises water, you gotta tell me I'm smarter than you are. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Here she goes. Woo! Whoa! Whoa! Don't just stand there.
Tell me it ain't gonna work.
Okay, it ain't gonna work. Whoa! Whoa!
I told you.
First you said look, then you said wait a minute.
Did you find them?
Sure did, right back there.
Here they are, Ma. 20 healthy young Rambos.
Oh, my apple trees. My apple trees.
It was Johnny Appleseed's own favorite, you know that?
My orchard. Oh, Will. They're beautiful. Broken? Squashed? Look, this one's busted off at the graft. Oh, Will. How could you put those kegs in with my precious trees?
Not him. It was me and Lester, I'm sorry to say.
Well, I tied them up real good. I don't see how they could rub against the trees.
What's in those kegs, anyway?
A business investment. 3 kegs of the finest rum you ever tasted.
Rum? My apple trees are ruined because of rum?
Oh, no, Mrs. Chisholm, not all of them. Look here, see.
Look, they're only split in a few places. A little fluff, and they just bounce right back as good as new.
Leave it be. Demon rum has been the curse over my head all my natural life. And now it's killing my orchard before I even planted it. Out. Get it out of here. I won't have this rum on this property. Get it out of here.
Be reasonable. We ain't gonna drink it. We're gonna sell it and make a profit.
I will not be reasonable, Mr. Hawkins. The rum goes first thing in the morning. Now, the rest of you can help me get these others into the house. Oh. Maybe we can set some of them right.
I guess we're all through knitting for the day.
Only for the time being, dear. Later on, we may knit as a noose.
Kind of taking the long way home, ain't you?
I thought it might be worth it. You were at King's Ferry, too, today.
We didn't ride our horses like that getting back, though.
Maybe you didn't lose $100 either, Mr. Hawkins.
What's that?
Aye. Sometime there at the river landing, it just walked away from me. My Negra. I was hoping you might have seen him.
You're a slave. He ran away?
Aye. His name is Morgan. I bought him off of that young supercargo Tolliver. Spent a few years in Carolina, but he knows horses.
The last time I saw the nigger was when he was cleaning up after them crates that fell.
Me too. After that, we had a bite to eat, then we come on back here.
Well, now, that just about does it. I buy me a healthy black, and all I get is a mouthful of trail dust from chasing that no-good runaway.
Would you like to buy some kegs of rum to wash down all that trail dust?
Would I? No.
Of course you do.
I'm sorry we're not more help to you, O'Hurley. I'd be glad to share supper with you and your man.
Well, thanks, Chisholm. But maybe I'll ride on out to Sutter's Fort and see if I can find me some off-duty soldiers to help. I'll find that no-good heathen. You'll see.
I don't think he's gonna find the man.
Turning down rum. I don't think he's Irish.
Wax is hot again, Ma.
No. Wait. There. Now, you can pour it over the bandage to seal it. There.
That's very funny, Mercy Ann. Remember, you're not too old to be spanked.
Could be we'll be buying you up pretty from the profit we make.
Don't be spending money you ain't made yet, Buster.
I got an idea that old Captain John Sutter could have a taste for fine rum.
Lester.
Don't worry, it's gonna be just fine.
What you got in there, darling?
Nothing.
Come on now, fess up. If I see you sneaking out there with dinner scraps, what is it, a pet? Don't move.
No need of gun. Morgan not hurt you.
Non be mad, Bukra. Gwan first fall crew.
He says he leaves in the morning.
How'd you make out what he said?
He'd been saying it over and over. He says, when the chicken crows in the morning, he goes.
You've been hiding him here all this time? Why'd you tell me?
He was in the wagon. He was scared. Say, please hide.
Nation, Coidnuck, of course he's scared. He's a runaway slave. Is why you got no business helping a runaway.
But he helped me. He saved my life today.
Why'd you tell me?
So much else happened.
Darling, the trouble is, he's another man's property. He belongs to O'Hurley. Oh, Lord. I looked right in that man's face and I told him I didn't know where his slave was.
But you didn't know.
Only because you didn't tell me is all. The man's gonna think me a liar.
When he goes in the morning, you not know again. Then not liar.
No, Morgan ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry. And I appreciate whatever he done. But the fact is, Morgan belongs to a very good neighbor of ours.
Not right that one man own other men. That fact I know.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'll tell you another fact. Back home in Virginia, hiding runaway slaves from their paper-holding owners is just about the easiest way I know to get hung. Get up.
He rogue totem, along with me and me man.
Whatever tongue could the man be speaking?
Gull, it's called. I worked for a man once who had slaves. He spoke a little. Pirogue means boat, I think.
Pirogue totem.
He says he saw your trees on the boat that brought him here, I guess. Also saw him in the wagon, I'd say. He was the one that smashed him right enough.
A man's a runaway slave, no matter what he's done. Good or bad. Like it or not, we got no business hiding him here. Now, they may have claimed to stop slavery in Mexico, but there's still plenty of it here, same as in Texas. And a foreigner's property is respected, especially when it's somebody important like O'Hurley. So we gotta return him to his rightful owner. You understand? Owner? Boss? O'Hurley?
No. O'Hurley, no. I go along in Pirogue with me man. He said, trouble, go Van de Veer.
That's a name he been saying.
No place I ever heard of.
No person neither. Not around here.
Me man, write paper. California. Morgan Freeman. Once go long California.
This man of yours, on the boat, gave you papers to set you free?
Free.
Hold it, Mrs. Chisholm. O'Hurley, he's got papers to prove he owns this fella. He got him off a cargo man named Tolliver.
Tolliver Pratai, devil man, very, very evil. What's this Bukra?
Now what's he saying?
Tolliver, what's this white man?
All right. Where is this man who set you free? Huh? Donde, hombre...
Oh, I don't think he speaks Spanish, Mr. Hawkins.
Where owner? You're a man, huh?
Me man don't pass.
Look, he's not a heathen. He's a Catholic.
Or a liar.
Well, that's more than likely the case, I'd say.
No, what he's telling us is that he was to be set free once he got to California. Only his owner died before they got here.
If I was a runaway slave, Ma, that's exactly what I'd say.
I believe.
So do I. This poor man shouldn't be a slave.
That a fact.
All right, whether it is or not, it ain't our job to cipher it out.
Why not? The whole idea of people owning other people always did pain me. I just never had a chance to do anything about it until right now. So, Will, first thing in the morning, you go and find Mr. O'Hurley, and you tell him all we know. He seems a decent man. He'll work something out.
All right, it's done. But the nigger stays here. I already been made out a liar, Ma. I ain't gonna be taking him with me in case somebody decides to make me out a thief.
Well, of course Morgan stays with us.
And as long as he's here, Ma, he's gonna stay tied up. When I tell O'Hurley I got his slave in my house, I wanna make sure he's here. I ain't gonna be made a liar a second time.
I just don't see credence reason, is all. Fair enough, you saved her. I'll see he's well taken care of. I'd even buy him myself if I could. You just can't go running around loose. Don't want to get caught again. Somebody a whole lot worse than O'Hurley. Besides, Indians make slaves out of whites they capture. Mexicans make slaves out of Indians. Maybe it ain't right, but it sure is all over the land.
They even tried it on Cooper Hawkins once.
You mean you were a slave?
Found out when I was a kid. Same thing back in Boston. I was the youngest of 5 brothers. Stood to reason I was going to be sold. Times was hard. Folks had to eat.
Well, at least you got fed. Got a place to sleep.
Well, for a couple of weeks. I busted the nose of my master when he tried to whip me. I ain't been to Boston since.
Any luck? Did you try the man in the cantina?
Yeah, Hurley, he was here all right. He slept a couple hours, had a bite to eat, he's gone already.
Well, what, did he go back to his place?
Yeah, he's riding around like Paul Revere, telling everybody his slave is missing or stole. Anyway, where are you going?
To close our business deal. And there's some satisfaction, I might say, in making a profit off of Captain John Sutter.
Some of them kegs of Sutter himself?
$5 more than we paid to boot.
I thought it was going to be 6. Wait a minute, Lester. You're not planning on mentioning anything about the runaway to Sutter?
No, but I don't see any harm in it.
Well, I do. Of all people, I don't want the man who considers himself responsible for the whole Sacramento Valley. Know we got Morgan. You know what I mean?
I understand.
You take that sample and show it to Captain Sutter and hurry back. That slave could be causing more trouble than the $100 he's worth.
Move it, Schmidt. In what works, eats.
Howdy, gents. What's your hurry? You going hunting?
Aye.
What matter of critter you after?
2-legged, mate. Old John Purdy here's not one to waste his time on 4. Not if he can get paid double for 2.
Yeah, who's paying? How much?
$40 old dollars, mate.
40?
Aye. Does seem a bit much, don't it? For only a runaway slave. Still, I'd be the last man to tell a bloody stubborn Irishman he was throwing his money away. Not if he might throw some of it in my direction.
What about the soldiers? They hunting for the runaway, too?
Oh, not official, mind you. But the promise of a pocketful's had them sneaking out all morning. Now, if you'll excuse me, gentlemen, there's a bit of a rush involved here. No use in splitting a purse with a bunch of foreigners now, is there?
Hurley's headed for a couple of big ranchos. Let's go.
Here, look.
Come on, Lester, let's get going.
What's ailing you?
Only way to stop all this. is to hand-deliver that infernal slave to O'Hurley, where he gets us all killed. Whoa.
Here's some more food. But you better eat it quickly. Quickly. Eat, quick. It will be dark soon. I know. Bo and Gideon will be back soon from the Kellys and saying we shouldn't have untied him. But how's a body to eat without his hands? Will might be back sooner. I've been thinking the same thing, but I don't think there's anything to worry about. I wish husband and wife had more of the same thoughts. Will's looking out for his family. Taking over from his pa. Ain't easy on him. Would his pa think slavery right? No. Hadley's heart always grieved over it, but in a strange land, strange laws. Maybe Will's heart's smaller than his pa's. No, Quinn. Anyways, hearts always grow bigger with time. Don't you know that? Shh. Listen. Must be mercy in the boys. You keep them busy for a while. No, strange men. Hide him, quick. I'll talk to them. No, not in there. No time to take him upstairs.
Name's Purdy, Mum. Oh, it's all right, Mum. I'm a proper American, I am. Ain't you gonna invite us in?
We're alone here. What do you want?
Me mate here and I, we're on the trail of a runaway Negro slave.
You've been at my door. Put you far off that trail, sir. There ain't no nigger here.
That's all right then, isn't it?
I said no. Now I say get.
So you do, my lady, so you do. And soon we will, too. Schmidt, get open. Oh, you know, here it is near supper. We ain't been offered a bite to eat now, have we? Surely a hungry little friend here won't eat it all. But you know, maybe two such handsome women as yourself might enjoy the company. A little man company.
That's enough. I told you get out. We know nothing of any nigger.
Ah, come on now, Duchess.
Get out.
Just as you say, Duchess. You know, there's Mexican soldiers looking for them too, you know. Maybe later we'll bring them all back here for a bit of fun.
in trouble? You found me out of trouble. You can't take him any place. Yes, before other men come. Morgan say he free man. I take him someplace to be free. Where? No, you can't. I won't let you.
Cripes!
Oh, mercy, Ann. Where are the boys? And don't talk like that.
Huh? Oh, they just dumped me off. They're going back to the Kellys to pick up some more of that angle iron to remake Gideon's old water machine.
Oh, all right. Never mind, never mind, never mind.
Anyway, I wanted to tell you something. Vanderveer, remember what he said? Well, it's a man, and he buys pelts and such for the Hudson's Bay Company.
Key. Vanderveer, Pirog, Hudson Bay. Me man say trouble. Go Vanderveer.
Frank Kelly says he saw his boat at King's Ferry just last night. Mr. Vanderveer goes back and forth to Canada.
Canada? And King's Ferry's not far. Canada's safe for Morgan.
What are you talking about? What's going on?
Never mind. Just sit here. Come on. I'll help you saddle up. Until the boys get back, there's only one horse, old Nellie.
One enough. No saddle. Morgan knows horses.
You have to go slow anyway and keep free of the open land.
Please go back now. Don't tell the boys. No one will see us. Don't worry.
You sure you want to do this?
Have to. Maybe someday Will can understand.
He'll understand. Coednick. Oh, Hadley. We got us a good one. Morgan, give knife back.
Quaqua. Quaqua.
Ojibwe, my tribe.
Tribe.
Eat.
Quaqua.
I eat quaqua? No. You eat Ojibwe?
You slave?
No.
Morgan, slave, Ojibwa? I want told for she injured.
Oh, no. You free man. You not my slave.
All white man seem be ignorant to that.
Come. You free soon.
What she Indian tell her Bukra?
What he tell me?
Stupid. Just plain dumb stupid. As if hiding him in the first place wasn't bad enough.
It's the only thing to do. Have you spoke to Mr. O'Hurley?
Not to him, to one of his men. He's taking him a message, but I don't know how long that'll be.
I'll get my horse. I'm going with you.
No, you ain't. You and Bo are going to stay here and protect your ma and the girls. I mean, stay here.
I don't need protecting, and I'm glad they weren't here before.
If anybody wants to look around this house, you let them. Don't go waving any more guns.
I don't see why you have to be so angry about it.
Why not? My own wife out there traipsing around in the dark with some stolen slave. A land full of scalp hunters. Now, that ain't the stupidest thing.
Now, you just listen to me. This family's been ripped down the middle of late, and maybe it's not surprising. But when it comes to the time that hurt feelings get in the way of what's really wrong...
You're talking about hurt feelings, Mom.
Ain't you? You're so mad you can't even see straight. And mostly because Coordinate won't do what you wanted to do. Ain't thinking the way you wanted to think.
I gotta worry about this whole family, Mom. Ever since Pa died, this entire family is my job.
When your pa was alive, we differed on all sorts of things. But at least he'd stand back and give me or anybody else the chance to speak our mind, free and clear. No matter how much our way of thinking might have called him.
I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. You're right, I'm sorry.
I'll simmer down. Come on, Cooper.
Miss Chisholm, there's something else he doesn't want to worry about. It's about that Vanderveer fella. The Hudson Bay boat left this morning.
You stay here. Here. Understand?
Here.
I go ask questions.
Vanderveer.
I find him.
I don't know if you've seen them horses, cabbies, carts, what have you. They just float down the river. Something like that, we're rarely. Well, well. If it isn't Mrs. Chisholm. And what brings you back to King's Ferry, Mrs. Chisholm?
I look for Mr. Vanderveer of the Hudson Bay Company.
All alone at this hour?
It important.
Yes, yes, of course. Well, why don't you ask those men over there? If you can't find him, please let me know. I'll be only too happy to help.
Thank you, sir.
I tell you something, Mr. Tolliver. The lick... Is it you see, my friend?
Merchandise, Mr. Link. Merchandise for which a certain Mr. O'Hurley is no doubt searching, even as we speak.
Is that the slave you sold him off the ship?
The same.
By now a runaway, maybe. What a night. I've just seen an Indian woman of some beauty, too.
She's one Mrs. Chisholm.
Too bad. Such a squaw would bring a pretty price from a man freezing in Puget Sound.
Link, a man with your mind for business is wasting his time as first mate on a second-rate trading ship.
Perhaps. But I'd like to do my business much more quickly than you before my customers change their minds.
We'll leave in a few minutes. The men are still sober enough to row.
If I swing the cat at them, maybe.
And you will. They're alone, the black and the Indian. And who'd think of looking for her in Puget Sound?
It's a bit riskier than stealing the papers of a free man and selling him as a slave. On the other hand, if we could sell him again.
Link, you are learning fast. Soon you will be captain of the ship.
Aye. And you'll be owner of the line.
Just put your finger in there.
I bet this is the 4th time you've tied that branch.
Well, it wasn't holding.
Of course not. Your hands are shaking too much.
Is that so? Now, you just reach me the wax, young lady, and then you go off to bed.
Please, why don't you come to bed, too?
Got any more coffee? Oh, Lester wants some, too.
It's all ready. Why don't they come inside?
Unless it says if any of those other men show up or the soldiers, it's better we get a jump on them outside.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Now,
Nothing is going to happen to us.
here, I'll take it to them. You stay and warm up a little.
Why aren't you in bed?
Why don't old people just keep their mouths shut? I'm scared. I don't want to go to bed.
I'm sorry.
This is an honor indeed. May I?
No, thank you, Captain Sutter. I can manage by myself.
Of course. But what I owe the honor of this visit, it was only Mr. Hagedare that I wanted to see this morning. Ah, did not my man get the message straight?
He did. And I thank you for telling us everyone was safe. He also told us you let Mr. Tolliver loose.
Mom, please. We're just lucky Captain Sutter came along last night when he did.
Well, of course. But since he interfered in Mr. Tolliver's favor, I want to know what he plans to do with Morgan.
Oh, yeah, the slave.
No, sir, the free man. Oh, forgive me, Captain Sutter, but I am aware that your sentiments may be different from mine.
But I do not understand.
Concerning slavery, that is. It is well known that you bought several slaves of your own from the Sandwich Islands. Several men and 2 young Polynesian women, I believe.
Oh, but they are not slaves, madame.
Then what would you call them, sir?
Well, employees.
Well, this ain't rightly none of them.
No. She is curious why I have interfered. Mrs. Chisholm, I will show you what I plan to do with this Morgan. Come with me. Behold, my new blacksmith.
Morgan?
I'm sure that Mr. Vanderveer himself could not find him a better job, not even in Canada. And I promise you, he will be whipped only when he fails to pay his debts, like any other free man.
Free? Tolliver did steal his papers. It true what Morgan said?
And you made him give back the papers? That's why you turned him loose?
In a land of little law, we must sometimes compromise. But before letting Tolliver go, I also made him return Mr. O'Halley his $100, plus some smaller coin. But now, madame, if you will excuse me, I would like to speak to the gentleman alone. Agate?
Thank you.
Kawidnik did the most.
She Indian, very best Indian.
What do you think of that, Agate? I had a little party last evening, and your rum was so good that already now I'm into the second keg. And now, gentlemen, a drink. To your health, sir.
Seawater. Both other barrels. Sit down, Lester. I think the captain wants to talk to us about the $14 he paid you.
Rambo apples is red with yellow streaks, ain't they? Or is it yellow with red streaks? I forgot.
Will, I'd like to explain.
No, don't. If anyone's been wrong about anything, it's been me. You understand? You just did what you had to do. Me, I did what I thought everybody wanted me to do. And I'm glad about Morgan.
You get confused sometimes, too?
About you? Never.
Soon it'll be spring.